What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Nullus. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Count Von Count. Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Best of 5. It's already starting off in an absolute crazy amount of craziness here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a water map now for you in game number 3. There is around about a 20% chance of hitting a water map on competitive Mega Random, but all the water maps, they're really interesting. And look at what we've got here. I'm not sure if this is connected or not. I'm 90% sure it's connected, actually. But I love these sorts of maps. Why? Because defender's advantage ends up becoming really, really strong, which all that means is that the really early game advantage that Greek gets here from having their triremes goes out the window, which basically means that the map becomes relatively balanced. Who would have thought that the problem with Mediterranean is just that Greek is too strong early game, and if you just tune that down a little bit, you don't need to have these crazy maps like this. Anyways, onwards and upwards. Let's see how things are going to go. As the dock's coming up here for Count Von Count, he's getting 2 docks up. It looks to me like only 6 fish has been spotted thus far, though there is going to be 12 fish a player. Yes, there's 12 fish a player. So the question is, do you go for a 12 fish build order here? Or do you go for a 9 fish build order trying to get your trireme out or something like that in the early game? That's the big question. And I think that with the dock over here protecting this side, a 3rd dock coming up over here to get those extra fish as well, I do think a 12 fishing ship opener from both players hitting about a 4:45 advance time should be the way to go. And we'll see if Count Von Count can construct that on the fly. Luckily, he is Thor, and Thor is probably the best of the Norse gods in this sort of a situation. Nullus, on the other hand, he doesn't know what the map is. He hasn't scouted with these fishing ships. He is going blind. He doesn't know. He's checked the corner of the map for fish. There's nothing down there. So he says, okay, it's going to be max 9 fish. That's kind of what he's thinking. But 12 fish changes things ever so slightly here, ladies and gentlemen. The town centers also look like they're not in range of water. So the water ends up becoming just an economical kind of importance. It also is not just an economical importance, but also a... not just an economical importance, but also a tactical importance, a map control importance. And here's another thing that I want to raise here. What if Count Von Count rushes a watchtower on this island? You could put the watchtower down here. Your opponent can't see it. If you sneak the Ulfsark in and get that watchtower down, there's no way to defend against this. That would be so huge. Normally, watchtowers on the shore in Age of Mythology aren't really seen. Why? Because they can get cleaned up really, really easily. Also, they don't really cover all too much of the map. Now, on a map like this is really, really different to Mediterranean, where the fish is kind of a little bit off of the shore. You can still harass the fish even outside of a range of a tower that gets onto the shore, so you don't really see that all too much. But if you're worried here about this, say you're playing Egyptian against Greek and on a map like this, you could just rush a tower. Why would you not just rush a tower? Totally. Crazy. We see Ares coming through as well. Imagine getting that tower upgrade first and foremost and just dropping the tower down. Now your opponent can't come through and he has to really consider what he's going to be doing. The towers are expensive, but you win the water outright with a tower like on this position here. He can't move through this position, and a tower over here, he can't move around here. On these 2 corners of the map, you would constrict your opponent. He can't move past it because the towers do... How much damage is it? 500% bonus damage versus ships. And that's 2 arrows they shoot. 500%. So I guess if the boats are moving, they do dodge the arrows. But if you get crenellations, then that's even more upgrades. Anyways, we do see the Pestilence coming down. Count hasn't even started production. He is going for the jugular, ladies and gentlemen. He is going for the jugular. Longhouse is coming up. He just needs to garrison the fishing ships. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to defend this as much as one might think, as the triremes are popping out. As we do see the Valkyrie coming through onto this position. 3 longhouses are down. Count's also got Hunt in his main base. He can also take the villagers all off of this wood line and come over onto the Hunt if he so chooses at any point here. As the Cyclops, Theseus coming in. Do we see any attempt here from Count? No. No attempt at all. Raiding cavalry coming through here. I would have liked to see Ulfsark. Great forest fire here. Why is this a good forest fire? Because this forces all the villagers onto this position where the attacks can come in. This dock will be getting taken down really, really quickly here from the Cyclops. This is not good for... This is not good for Count Von Count in the slightest. I think he was probably expecting to see Hermes here most likely. The Ares with the Cyclops, very, very tough to take out there for Count as he's making throwing axemen. He's making his units. He's pushing in. The raiding cavalry getting pushed back here. I think Count kind of revealed this a little bit too early as the walls coming up. This is going to be brutal if he can get those walls up. The walls started. Count needs to attack this. He needs to recognize this. He does manage to see that, but he's a little bit too late. As don't start that wall, otherwise life is going to get a little bit challenging there. The Hippolyta is going to be sitting in, getting some good defense in onto that position. Count does unveil his strategy a little bit too early, housed as well as the wall getting repaired back up, and Count is disallowed from getting in onto this position. Longboats starting to come out here for Count Von Count as well as he's attempting to defend this position. The docks are going to hold here kind of with a couple of longboats pulling out, but you want to be popping these out when you have a closer number to equal, as the raiding cavalry is still trying to break through here, but they just cannot beat a lone villager repairing a wall here, ladies and gentlemen, as the throw and axeman comes through and harass these villagers off of this position ever so slightly. A couple of idle raiding cavalry not attacking here either. Not ideal in the slightest for Count Von Count, as the Urso comes through. Going to start hitting the Cyclops over here, but the Cyclops manages to pick up a raiding cavalry. Can he hit the throwing axeman over here? Bam! Yes, he does. He only gets one attack there, as the Urso will end up going down. Another longboat or two going to be popping out on this position here, as well as the Cyclops going to be retreating back underneath the trireme there, as the raiding cavalry is swinging around. This was such a good opener with the forest fire on the back here, but why not Ulfsark? Why not Ulfsark? He could have pushed in. He would have done so much more damage with, like, I don't know, 10 Ulfsark than he did with 4 raiding cavalry. Look at this. They took double the amount of train time to get those raiding cavalry out. And Count has managed to do 0 damage here in this game, as the trireme do get denied. So Count's still going to be on the water for the time being, but he's got this Cyclops in the middle of his base, killing houses. He's going to be targeting down these villagers here. If he can pick up a villager here, this is going to be gigantic, as the Cyclops comes through, not really paying attention, and good micro there from Count. He's still microing it beautifully at this point. The Cyclops does turn around. Count trying to micro, doesn't manage to pick that one up there at that point, as the dwarf does end up going down, throws that one away there, as the Cyclops will end up getting cleaned up. The Cyclops does go down. The Theseus does go down. Raiding cavalry still searching around for things to kill, but look at the army which Nullus has constructed now. Can we see a dock coming back up here at some point here for Count Von Count? It's never too late to come back on the fish and actually build fishing ships. I know that everyone's like, you got to get your fish out as fast as you possibly can, but that doesn't mean if you lose fish, you shouldn't rebuild them. And that's something that Count could definitely do here. Nullus at this point with 13 fishing ships, so he's actually significantly further in front. He's done a lot of damage to the economy there, as the longboat's getting a little bit of damage done onto the shore over there, as well as some triremes starting to get built out for Nullus as well, as the house is going to be coming up on the front here. You hate to see houses on the front, as much as it's convenient to build these houses on the front. Just send one Ulfsark back home. and just build the houses in your main base and call it a day, because this is so much damage here that this army is doing for Nullus. The Poseidon Hippocon have now got their medium Hippocon upgrade through. We see the archer ships coming in, going to put some pressure onto Count Von Count on this area as well. The villagers onto the hunt in the main base here for Count. I mean, he's going to have a lot of food in the bank, but he's not spending it. He is getting himself medium raiders while this is all going on, but still putting houses up in the middle of the map. He's getting himself the Valkyrie here. He's got so much catching up to do. And when you're behind as Norse, that's when life is the most difficult, as the longhouse just about to go down. On the front here, still more houses going to be going down as Count is trying to get everything up as fast as he possibly can. Full population raiding cavalry, they are difficult to deal with as Greek. And that's definitely a way to go as the trireme push through here. Longboats are in to defend. 7 longboats versus 8 trireme with the double docks to defend here. This should be a defensible position for Count. So long as he makes his longboats actually attack, he should be completely fine here. As the raiding cavalry now starting to push forward, going to engage this fight. Probably a little bit underpopulated here. 10 Hippocon versus what looks to be 11-ish raiding cavalry does go in favor of those Hippocon. They cost a little bit more. They have a little bit more stats. So you need a considerable amount more raiding cavalry to find your wins. Still, houses going down, and Count, I mean, he's delaying. He's delaying. Good micro here from Count as well. Pulling the trireme back, still underneath both of these docks as the longboats are going to be holding there nicely. Now, the raiding cavalry decide it's time to hit this position. Those Toxotes in the back here not getting targeted down just yet. Just a couple of those raiding cavalry to target down the Toxotes would go a long way, as the throw and axemen are going to be getting cleaned up on the back there as well. Count does have defender's advantage here, but how useful is it going to really be? Longboats positioning over here, trying to get involved in this fight as well, as they are incredibly strong here at dealing with land units, shooting 3 times 7 pierce damage there, with great track rating to boot there. But in the end, Nullus does manage to find the victory on that fight, and Count does tap out. It was such a great idea here from Count Von Count. The strategy was going to be immaculate. It was great. The back burn on the forest. But why not Ulfsark? What is your opponent going to build? That you're scared of building Ulfsark here as Thor? There's no problem with having 10 Ulfsark in your army against Poseidon, because you know that Poseidon wants to build Hippocon. Just build 10 Ulfsark out to start the game, and then go in with raiding cavalry if your opponent starts to make those Toxotes. Obviously, if you push your opponent off of wood, he's also not going to be able to build Toxotes at all in general, so you just end up becoming the victor of that situation in the biggest way. I don't understand this raiding cavalry thing in the slightest from Count Von Count, and it sucks to say it, but one house and one wall saved Nullus in this game, and that is the difference between the Ulfsark flood coming in and killing these villagers, and a handful of raiding cavalry coming in and not doing a whole lot. Really well played by Nullus, though. Great reaction to a fairly offbeat strategy here from Count Von Count. Great reaction to exactly what Count was doing. He kept Count in his place and never really took his foot off the pedal once he realized what was going on here. Really nice gameplay here from Nullus. He's up to 2 wins. It's best of 5, first to 3. One more win for Nullus, and he does get that lifeline. We'll see if CVC can get that, keep himself composed here and go into the next game with a fresh head. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.